All right, hello. I am M. Today, we are here to review Season 4, Episode 1 of Traitors. And I am so excited because we are back. Traitors is back. I have been waiting for this. Like, this is the beginning of the year. January 1st? No. It was January 8 or 9, whatever the day that this came out. This is the beginning of the year, okay? So we're just gonna review the episode, give you my thoughts. So, yeah, we'll just get started, okay? So, we open the episode, everyone is driving in the cars to the castle. We are in Scotland. I probably shouldn't have started with the accent, but it's too late now. Everyone's coming in at night. This is a new thing. We have not had the cast arrive at night yet, so a little interesting twist. Interesting to see what Alan's gonna do there. But the first person we see is Maura Higgins, love her. And then we see Michael Rappaport come in claiming to be the biggest Housewives fan ever. And we'll get into that, because already hate him. Then we see Donna Kelsey, and I'm sorry, 3 seconds in, I don't like her. I don't know why. She's just got, I don't like her vibes. I'm sorry. We see Rob R. from Love Island, still fine as ever. Maybe even better looking. I just have written that Rob is so hot, and yeah, that was great. Oh, Dorinda's back. We love it. So happy to see her. However, and I didn't go back and fact check this, but it looks like she's wearing the same outfit that she was wearing last season. So, I mean, like, I get it, babe, you're back. But I don't know why you're gonna wear the exact same gold jacket. Like, maybe she wore it in the I feel like I've seen that outfit before. Like, I've seen this jacket. I don't know why she couldn't put on a new outfit for the new season, but whatever, you know. The cars pull up, we see everyone get out of the cars, and Rinna and Dorinda run over and they give themselves they do a little hug, and it's so cute. I don't really like this cheetah outfit she's got on though. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit much for me. But I love Rinna, and I think she's gonna be great. So she basically starts off by saying in her confessionals that she wants to be a traitor, and I think she would be a really good traitor. So Maura and Rob go out of the cars, they give each other a cute little hug, love to see it. Rob does a cute little confessional where he says he's still wearing clothes and hasn't made out with anyone yet, so he's really confused. And I agree. Then we have the diva Alan, who shows up looking fabulous, absolutely fabulous, with all the creepy guys in the red and maroon trader outfits behind him, and they have like sticks, okay? So basically Alan explains that this season we will have a secret traitor, and the secret traitor will be chosen in plain sight. So we do this whole little ritual where everyone has a little box, and inside their box he opens up the box to them, and if there's like a little tarot card, not a tarot card, just a card that says like the traitor, I don't know, it says death. I think it's a traitor card. I don't remember. But if you have the card in your box, you're the secret traitor. Okay, so everyone goes up, he opens the box for them, and they see, okay? So Candace starts, and already love the outfit. She's in the white Kiki boots. She's got a little pink thing on. I'm obsessed, okay? But overall, okay, so Candace opens the box. She says yes. People are like, oh, she looks disappointed. I mean, people just say things, okay? Okay, so just the general concept of a secret traitor. I kind of love it. We started season 1 Okay, you know, just the regular rules. Then we added in the shields. Then we added in, you know, you don't get to know who the traitor is when you leave the game, the final round table. So adding in the secret traitor, I think, is really fun. I love it. I love that we don't get to know who it is, but I'm also really mad. When I was thinking about this, though, I'm like, how are they going to do this in the turret if there's a secret traitor? Like, are they literally just going to cut them out of the scene and, like, only show the 3 other traitors? But obviously, we see what happens later with that. So, I'm not going to jump ahead. But Alan shows everyone their cards. Great. Oh, Portia goes to get her little box. Okay, and someone in the background, I don't remember who it was, they like whisper like, oh, the great Portia Williams, she's a shit talker, we gotta watch out for her, which is comical. Okay, you guys, Portia thought there were 265 days a year. She thought the Underground Railroad was a train. Like, great shit talker, but I don't think she's like scary traitor material. Like, the people are wrong about that. But you know, we love that she has a reputation and people are scared of her, I guess. I mean, obviously, since the first 3 episodes. Okay, let me stop. Let me pause. Let me stop. Okay, let's see what's next. Oh, also, Colton is so cute. I don't know who this man is, but I love him. His little pearl tie thing situation going on. I liked that. Okay. What's next? Oh, so everyone goes into the castle, everyone opens their boxes, they're done, they go into the castle. Portia says her fat ass found the kitchen first. I laughed. That was hilarious. Because that would probably be me too. Like, I'm going to the kitchen first, let's see what snacks there are. I'm intrigued. And so people separate into their little groups, initial chats, trying to think about who the secret traitor could be, okay? So we see Monet and Jam Jam talking about how the gamers are obviously a threat to the game, but then Jam Jam looks over and like tilts his head to Mama Kelsey and is like, oh, I think she could be a bigger threat than the gamers, which I definitely agree with, because I feel like she does have the whole sweetheart persona, so everyone's gonna like just fall for her and think she couldn't do anything wrong, when, you know, I think she's just as threatening as probably anyone else. It's just like her reputation that's gonna help her be clean for a while. We see Maura in the little confessional. She talks about how she wants to be the sweet, nice, innocent girl from Love Island. And then claims she's actually really smart. So the jury's still out on that one. But I do think it's a good tactic for her to play the smart, innocent girl. I definitely can see her like taking on the Gabby Windy role, like, because there definitely seems to be certain like character tropes that kind of come back season by season. Like, you always have a traitor's faithful, and you always have a nice, cute, innocent girl, and like you have the puppy dog boy who is a, you know, traitor hunter. And so definitely think Maura could do a good job in that role, and I definitely think that could take her straight to the end. Based off the first episode, I was also thinking Portia could do that, and I thought she could really get to the end doing this like ditzy girl type vibe as a faithful. Obviously though, you know, we know what happens to Portia. So we're at the round table for everyone to figure out what their roles are. And we get a cutscene to Alan in the library talking to people individually, you know, asking them, do you want to be a traitor? Do you want to be a faithful? The classic situation. And so we have a few people who are kind of fun. Lisa says she's definitely thinks she's a threat because she's Lisa fucking Rinna. And yeah, I think she was built for this. Then we see Ian, who is from Big Brother, Survivor, I think Big Brother, I don't remember. But he says that he thinks the faithful side of the game is a juicy nut waiting to be cracked. And I completely agree with that. I do not think we've seen any gamers or like hardcore strategists really go like for the faithful side and be like, I want to be a faithful to win. And so I do think I'm very intrigued by Ian, and I would love to see what this nut of a faithful that. Okay, so we're at the round table. Alan's doing the little walk around. Okay, and so he picks Candace, Rinna, and Rob R from Love Island to be the traitors. And can I just say, this is quite possibly a dream traitor light on. I think, obviously going in knowing the cast, I wanted both Candace and Rinna to be traitors. I think they could easily take it to the end. And obviously, I was kind of expecting Rob to come in and be a faithful, and I actually thought he could do like a Dylan Efron role from last season as a faithful and win the game. But I'm very excited to see him as a traitor. He did mention that he is hard to read, and all of his ex-girlfriends have told him that. The only thing I could think about was the Love Island scene where Leah says, oh, you thought you were sending home 2 tonight, or now you're sending home 3. That was the only thing running through my head. That's all I could think about. So no, I don't think he's hard to read, but I think he could be a really good traitor. Rinna immediately says in her confessional she wants to call Harry Hamlin. I would also be calling Harry Hamlin. Whether I was a traitor or a faithful, I want to call Harry Hamlin. Okay. Oh, and then Candace is so cute in her little confessional. She goes, the game is called Traitors. It is not called The Faithfuls. It's about main characters, and I'm a main character. So, love that. And yes, I do think she, based on her time on Potomac, will be a really good traitor. So, Alan mentions there will be no murder tonight. Very important. I don't remember if they murdered in the first episode or the first night last year, but I like the idea of no murder on the first night because it does just give more time to get to know everybody, potentially get clues for who we want to put up for banishment. So the round table's over, everyone gets up and leaves. Rob, literally, this camera cuts to Rob just like chugging his water so like rapidly. I don't know, he was so thirsty. I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so people break into groups again. Natalie's in the library, and she says something about how she wants to make sure everyone knows she's a faithful. So she gets up and does a whole speech about how she's a traitor hunter and she's a faithful. And I had the same thought as everyone else. Why are you drawing all this attention to yourself? Like, it's a little bit weird. I don't think that's the best strategy going in. But, you know, I'm not a gamer, so maybe it's a good strategy. I just don't know. Oh, okay. Okay. And now we get into Michael Rappaport. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I hate this man. I hate him. I want him banished immediately. So, he goes on a whole rant in like the hallway foyer area. And he starts saying, as a person who studies this game, mathematically, there are 5 housewives and 5 traitors. Sorry, that's a lie. He said there are 5 housewives and 5 gamers. And he says, so mathematically, one of the five from each group has to be a traitor. And like, that could be true, but why are you announcing this to everybody? Like, you're literally, like, asking to have enemies on the first night. Like, people are gonna banish you for that. Are you stupid? He's literally... Bless Tiffany. She says it for me. She says either this man is a terrible faithful or a terrible traitor. And she's right. Like, you can't have seen this show and think this is how I want to play. This is the strategy to win, Mr. Michael Rappaport. No. This is not how you should play to win. And I want you gone. Immediately. Okay. So then we get Candy and the gang in the library. It's like, you know, Candace, the housewives, you know, Caroline Stanberry, Jam Jam comes in, a few other people. Okay, and so she asks, like, who has the propensity to do it? Which, being picked immediately as a traitor and then coming in and saying that, great strategy. Because, you know, you want to be, as a traitor playing a faithful, you want to come across as a traitor hunter. But you don't want to be, you know, the biggest traitor hunter in the world, like, put a target on your back. So I do think it's a nice way to, like, come in, be like, I'm in the game as a faithful, I'm doing faithful activities, faithful behaviors, such as asking who has the propensity to do it. However, then she turns around and says Lisa Rinna has the propensity to do it. Girl, what did you just do to your fellow traitor, girl? But, you know, she's right, she does. But, like, Candace, when you get to the turret tonight, you're gonna be sad you said that. Okay? Oh my god. So then people agree with Candace saying this. And Caroline Stanberry's like, oh, that's right, she would run down her grandmother. Which is hilarious. And, like, that's untrue, but a pretty accurate depiction of Lisa Rinna's threat level. But she shouldn't be saying that. Don't help my girl, Caroline. Okay? Oh. So then we cut to the bar. People are having some drinks. And Michael Rappaport is at it again. He's at it again. He looks at Rob and he says, Rob, your good looks and your quiet disposition are going to be a problem. And it's like, dude, just shut. Just please keep your mouth quiet. Please. Stop talking. Who, like, shut up. How many enemies do you want? Like, you're literally terrible at this game. There's no way you could have watched this show. Like, he just gets underneath my nerves, like, underneath them. Oh, and then he says, like, you know, and then, like, Rob's like, okay, if you get to know me, you know, I'm a nice guy. I chat with people. Like, I'm just quiet at first. And Rob is like, yeah, I know, I'm a fan. I'm sorry, excuse me? You're a fan of Rob Roush from Love Island USA Season 6? You're a fan of Rob. Like, I can't even believe that statement to be true. Like, there's no way you've ever turned on an episode of Love Island. And if you did, it would have been Season 7, not Season 6, okay? Before it really, like, I know it blew up in Season 6, but not the way it did in Season 7. So, Rappy, you need to shut the fuck up right now. I don't believe you. I don't believe a word coming out of your mouth. Oh. So then we get Rob in a confessional, and he says, so Rob says one of his greatest strengths is that people will be underestimating him. And I really do agree with that, and I think that's one of the reasons he will probably be able to make it to the end as a traitor. Hopefully. Pray to the Lord. Although, of the 3 traitors, he could go first. Or, you know, until we figure out who the 4th traitor is. But I do think, you know, with the Love Island tag attached to him, I don't think people will be seeing him as an initial threat. Mentally, maybe, like, as like physically great for the game, but I don't think any of the gamers are really looking at him like, okay, we gotta watch out for Rob. So I think that will help him in the long run. Anyway, The good night bell tolls. We hear the bells. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Oh my god. I love this. Okay. So Portia and Candace look at each other, and Candace says, "Good night, good night," in the same tone she does from season 5 Fight Night. If you know, you know. And then Portia like does some little air kisses, but maybe one of the best moments in the episode. Okay. Oh, and then Tiffany asks Rob Sestorino if they want to do a little gamer alliance, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." Smart, love it. And everyone walks upstairs to bed, even though I don't believe they really sleep there, but we'll talk about that later. And now it's time for the Traitors to meet in the turret. So, the secret traitor, Alan explains that the secret traitor will be remaining a secret for, if not the whole game, until the Traitors have the opportunity to meet the secret traitor, which we'll get to that. Okay, so we see Candace, Rinna, and Rob do their little traitor oath, get the green traitors caps, traitor hoods, traitor capes, and they all with their little lanterns walk into the turret. Okay, so Candace and Rinna go in first, and you see them take their hoods off, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited!" And I thought I was doing that. I was with them. I was like, "Yes, yes." Okay. And then they're like, "Oh, this is the first time we've ever had 2 housewives as traitors," which, breaking barriers, you guys. Wow. Okay. Anyway. Then Rob comes in, there's a knock on the door, they're like, "Oh no, who is it? Who's our extra traitor?" And it's Rob. Rob comes in, they're like, "Alabama!" They're like, "Snake Charmer!" They're like so excited to see him. And then Rob's like, "Did you get the card? Did you get the card? Who got the card?" And they're like, "Oh, none of us got the card." There must be another traitor. Okay, so then there's another knock on the door. Alan comes in. So Alan says, "You're right. There is another traitor, but you don't get to know who it is yet. That traitor will be a secret. It's a secret traitor." So Alan goes on to explain that the secret traitor and the traitors will not know each other's identities, and every night the secret traitor will shortlist 4 people for murder, drop off the little note in the turret, and then the real traitors get to pick who they're gonna murder based off the list of 4. Okay, so obviously lots of thoughts. Can a secret traitor kill a traitor? I don't know, probably not. Can they put them on the list? I mean, obviously, but what if they all get put on a list one night? Or, you know, what if they only put, and then there's one person you don't want to kill? So lots to think about there. But they basically try to figure out, okay, who could the secret traitor be? They throw some eyes out there. They don't throw eyes out there, they throw names out there. My god. Okay. And then Rob mentions that he definitely doesn't envy the secret traitor. Like, they have to do it alone, and the real traitors get to do the murdering together. And I agree with him. I think that would be so awful, being a secret traitor by yourself, not knowing who your fellow traitors were. I would be so sad. So, Lisa says we have to work together, we have to be a team, and they agree. So they put their hands in, and they go 1, 2, 3 traitors, 3 traitors for life. Now it's time for the first mission. And someone's like, "Okay, this is definitely a water mission." We see Morris say, "The first mission is water, and I cannot swim, I might die." So that's tough for you, girl. So we see the camera pan over the lock, and there's all these coffins in the water. So obviously some sort of coffin situation. They get out the car. Alan is dressed as a coffin. Like, could it get any better? And so Alan explains the game. Basically, there's 3 rowboats. They all have to get in a boat. And there are different coffins, coffins with an X on them, and coffins with dollar signs on them. Ignore the ones with the X. Coffins with the dollar sign, you gotta like tug it, connect it to your boat, tug it to the other side of the lock, put it in an empty grave, and then you get to bank $2,500 or something. I'm not sure. Some money. Obviously, there will be a twist, but they don't know it yet. So Rob is like, okay, let's break off into groups. Who's going to be a boat leader? Who knows how to row a boat? Because, like, not everybody knows how to row a boat, obviously. So, Colton, Rob R., and Steven are the 3 leaders of the boats. We get a little confessional of Steven saying, I don't want to brag, but I have my California boater's license. That one took me out. Don't know why. Don't know why, but I loved that. And then, oh, no, it's even better because then they all get in the boats, take off from the lake, and you see Steven's boat, Mr. California boater's license, his freaking boat gets stuck on shore. Like, they cannot row their boat out of the shallow end. They're just stuck in the lock. And it's like, yeah, your boater's license really going to good use right now. Okay, so we get to see our people in the boat. We see Portia say that their team is rowing like they got a scholarship to college. Thought that was a little bit hilarious. And then you see Johnny, who is an Olympic figure skater, I believe. I did not know him. Side note, did not know him at all until he came on the show. And I feel like I'm gonna love him. Like, his outfit was so chic, the little green thing he was doing in his confessional. So I'm really excited for more of him. But he says, when in doubt, go to the gay boat. I am on the gay boat with Colton, Jam Jam, Monet Exchange, and Taylor Swift's soon-to-be mother-in-law, which was a nice little touch. Okay. So the red boats, the first one to grab a coffin, get it to the other side of the lake, and they're like, whoa, there's a twist. They read the sign, and the sign explains that all of the graves have a little headstone with each player's name. And so at the end of the game, any grave that does not have a coffin inside of it, those players are shielded from murder. However, if your headstone grave has a coffin inside, you will be up for murder tonight. So the red's like, whoa, what are we gonna do? Let's just keep it easy. Let's just put it in the closest grave. I think a pretty good strategy to start. You know, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna put it in the far one. Rob Sestorino, the gamer, is a little bit upset by this, just in his confessional, and he just kind of says he wants to do it more strategically, which, like, sure, maybe if we weren't timed, but I don't know how much time they have. So I was fine with the little put it in whoever's closest. Then we see the green boat pull up, drop coffin in grave, and then as they're trying to push their boat back out, you see Johnny fall head first in the water. It was amazing. So then you see Natalie from the red boat say, like, hey, green boat, let's make an alliance. We're gonna protect each other, go for white boat. Okay? Honestly, great strategy. That's, you know, love it. The green boat is like, okay, great. We're not going to put it in a red boat's coffin. Red boat's grave. We're not going to put a coffin in a red boat grave. We're going to put it in a white boat grave. So the green team decides to put it in Michael Rappaport's. Rappy. And then the white boat finally arrives to the other side of the lock with their first coffin. And Rappy is just, he's at it again. Oh my god. He says, they put one in mine, those miserable fucks. That's so rude, shame on you. And Michael, have you ever seen this show? Like, people, he was really bothering me. He was, like, it's just like, you're too mad. You're too mad. You're too mad about a game. Like, a coffin's gonna go in somebody's. Like, oops. Like, sorry it went in yours, but like, you're gonna need to get over it. This is a game. You can't be crying and screaming and cussing everybody out anytime something happens to you. Like, I get it, you're a famous actor, or like allegedly, but like nobody, where you don't get like a little like put you on a pedestal and no one's gonna put anything in your grave because you're supposedly famous. Like, no, Mikey, stop right now before I banish you, okay? Anyway, so this becomes controversial later. So the white boat's like, oh, after Michael Rappaport is done screaming and crying and throwing a little tantrum like a baby, they say, okay, we have to pick somebody. And so Ron then says, housewives, how about Portia? What do you want to do? Okay, just asking the group in general. And Candace says, no, we're not doing this, let's do Donna. And everyone's like, whoa, not Donna, we can't do Donna. What about the NFL players? What about Travis and the Swifties? What are we gonna do? The Swifties will murder us. The Swifties will murder us if we kill Donna. We can't do that. Like, okay, we get it. You guys want to protect Donna. And so finally, they're like, okay, what if we put it in this one? Candace is like, no. Put it in Donna's. It's going in Donna's. Everyone calm down. Like, Donna's not going to die if she gets a grave, a coffin in her grave, okay? There's going to be 10 other people up for murder. We can relax for a second. We get a cute little confessional from Candace where she says, Donna is like America's mom, and in this game, America's mom might need to die. And she's right. America's mom might need to die. Because who elected her as America's mom? The Swifties? Get out of here. Oh, then you see Eric realize that he has a coffin in his grave as well. And he's like, does somebody hate me here? And it's like, Eric, you haven't done anything wrong yet, but like, it's a game. Like, no, they don't hate. Like, please, somebody's gonna get it in. Like, do we want to just put the coffins on the ground and not put them in graves? Like, we're gonna have to put them somewhere. Like, it's all luck, hope and pray for the best. But like, I'm sorry, nobody hates you. We just had to put it somewhere. Anyway, so they're coming back, putting them in more graves, you know. Okay. So the game is almost over. We have 1 minute remaining. And the white boat is like the only one who's actually gonna bring anything in. The green and red are like, not me pretending the lock is like back there. They're like in the lock. And the lock has to, they don't have a coffin. The only people who have a coffin is the white team. And so the white team's like racing against the clock. They're like, we gotta get this coffin into a grave. Okay, white team remembers Mr. Rappaport. Sorry, let me not say Mr. He doesn't deserve that. Rappy. So they try and run to the grave. They try to drop it in Portia's. They do not get it in time. And Rappy just, again, throws a tantrum. Alan's like, clock's up. Sorry, you didn't get it in time. And he says, not in, based on what? And Alan goes, based on the clock. Like, yeah, based on the clock, you fucking idiot. And Rappy, you know what? You're not going to win the $250,000 anyway, so like, I don't know why you care so much. Anyway, there are 9 coffins in 9 graves, which means 9 people will be up for murder tonight at the end of the game. So anyone who had a coffin in their grave then has to like stand behind the little gravestone in shame as everybody else goes back to the car to go home and have a nice shower and outfit change and a bit of dinner. And then everyone who is up for murder tonight has to fill in their own graves with dirt and shovels, so it seems quite terrible. Dorinda is up for murder again, and she's like, no, I can't die on the first night again. And I was gonna mention this earlier, but I actually thought at first Dorinda could be the secret traitor, just on the sheer fact that like she came back, and it's like, God, we don't want her to lose. We don't want her to get murdered, banished again immediately. So I was like, maybe they'll do a Kate Chastain and like bring her back, but bring her back as a traitor. They didn't though. She's just faithful. So she's like, oh God, I'm gonna be murdered. And it's like, Dorinda, please. I just have in my notes, Rappy STFU. I assume he's crying again. Okay? Donna's like, don't get mad, get even. So, you know, just taking it like a champ, I guess. Okay. Also very important scene, which will come to fruition later. So, basically all the players who are shielded for murder, who are on the way back to have a wonderful, nice, warm dinner, are talking. And so it's Portia, Maura, and Candy in the car. So Portia says, I heard somebody wanted to put a coffin in mine at the last minute. How did that happen? And Candace says, when we were in our boats, Michael was like, who are we gonna put the casket in? Let's do Housewives. And I was like, no. And then Portia and Maura gasp, and they're like, and Maura goes, oh my God, he has stats for the Housewives. Which, it's true, he does. I don't know how you're the biggest Housewives fan ever and want to murder all the Housewives. Like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. So we cut to Candace's confessional where she says everyone had kind of heard him gunning for the Housewives, so I wanted to sort of throw a little bit of gas on Michael's fire. And Candace mentions he's kind of a perfect distraction for the traitors at the moment, which he is. He's behaving 100% like a terrible traitor or a terrible faithful or just someone who's ruining the team vibe. Like, you're not letting anyone be a team, and just like you're not letting the faithfuls be faithful because they're busy fighting you. So basically, leave. Anyway, back at the castle, we see Tiffany, Rinna, and Steven grabbing some dinner. Tiffany says, I feel really bad for the people that got left in the graves. And then we see Rinna pick up a picture of what looks like Diet Coke, and she says, I wonder if this is diet or regular. Whatever. And then just pours it. So, oh, and also she's wearing this all denim outfit here. Wait, this, I did have to write this down and talk about it. She's wearing like jorts, like really oversized jorts with like a denim top, jacket top thing with these like sleeves, and it was like cinched in, and then she had like black stockings with black stilettos. Oh, that was a moment. Okay, the Up for Murder players arrived back to the castle. Obviously they didn't get to change or shower. They're like, I hope there's dinner for us. Like, obviously there's gonna be dinner for you guys. Anyway, Rappy's back, so Portia, he sits down in the library with Portia and some other people who are eating, and Portia just out the bat starts accusing him. She accuses him of having a motive to put her name in the grave. And he's mad. He's like, who said that? He said, who said that? Go talk to them. I'm practically a housewife. Michael, no you're not. Who let you even think these things, Michael? Who let you think these things? Because you're not basically a housewife. But he's all mad, so he's like, go get whoever told you. Okay? So Portia's like, fine. Come on, we're going to the kitchen. Let's address this. So they get up and go to the kitchen, and we see Portia confront Candace, and everyone's everyone's in the kitchen. It's getting all cozy and crowded. And Portia's like, okay, explain to me the thing you said about how Michael wanted to put the coffin in a housewife grave. And Candace says, oh, when was this? And Portia's like, in the car. And Candace says, oh, you misheard me. I was referring to him saying something like that yesterday. I was talking about today. Which, when we go back, Candace, you did say that. But you picked a good one to lie to, because Portia's like confused. And she's like, Maura, you were in the car, like, and then she'll stop looking like that. She says, you were in the car, and then she says, stop looking like that. And Maura's like, I'm only looking like this because I haven't got a clue. So basically, Maura's useless. She claims she has the memory of a goldfish. Remember, she also claimed she was really smart. She claims she has the memory of a goldfish, so she doesn't remember what was said in the car. Portia's like, what's happening? I don't think Candace would lie to me, but what's happening? We get a quick confessional of Rob saying he thinks Candace might get herself into trouble by talking too much. And in this moment, I agree. I was having those same thoughts. I got a flashback to Armani from season 2. Kind of coming in with the same outgoing, smart, traitor hunter-ish mentality, and then getting a little bit too cocky and getting herself banished. So Candace, I think we can let this one situation slide, but I do think you need to be careful going forward with these half-truths and little stories, because people will be paying attention, and a lot of people are smarter than Maura and Portia, okay? You need to remember that. People are smarter than Maura and Portia. Portia's basically in a confessional, like, it's kind of weird that she would change her story, but I trust Candace, you know, we are a housewives sisterhood, and like, bless your heart, Portia. Yes, bless your heart. So then everyone kind of leaves the kitchen, they disperse, and we see Monet and Candace talking, and one of the two of them mentions like, oh, do you think Michael could be a traitor? And they're like, yeah, I think he could be a traitor. So Rob Sestorino jumps in, walks up, and he basically says, well, what traitor would do that? That's not normal behavior for a traitor to do unless he's next level. And I don't think he's next level. And Candace is like, well, he could be, you know, good save, Candy Girl. But Rob is fucking smart. And he's right. But yeah, this really made me realize how Sestorino is going to be a huge, huge threat to the traitors. Like, if he's already thinking about double and triple bluffs, they do need to watch out for him. Anyway, oh, we see a little bit more. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, Rob Sestorino, definitely a threat to the traitors. Intrigued by his strategies, but if I'm gonna protect the girls, he might need to be murdered or banished. Anyway, it's time for everyone to go to bed. You see them go upstairs, and then we get a little more B-roll of the secret traitor here. So we see the secret traitor doing her little short list, and I paused it, and like, if you look closely, the hand of the traitor, the secret traitor doing the short list, is very much feminine hand. So I'm like, okay, secret traitor is a woman, okay? And then you see secret traitor walking from behind, and very large masculine build. So I'm like, wait, are they doing two different people just to switch us up so we like don't get an idea of who the secret traitor is? But you see the secret traders shortlist these names, stamp it with the little seal, and then take the card up to the turret. And in this moment, I had to go back and rewind it like 3 times. In this moment, as the traitor passes right before the stairway and like turns to go up, you see the tiniest sliver of like a face or a neck, but you see that secret traitor is white, okay? It's a white person. So camera people, you gotta fix that, because I saw that. And if you didn't release all 3 episodes at once, this would be a big deal. But we already know who the secret traitor is because you guys released the first 3 episodes. So we'll get to that later. But the secret traitor drops a little letter off. Okay, bye-bye secret traitor. We see the traitors meet in the turret, open up the shortlist, and shortlisted for murder are Rob Roush, Ian, Mark, and Eric. Candace kind of discusses how she's got an issue with this little secret traitor shortlisting, because if we can't discuss the strategy, how are we going to murder people? Like, what if the traitors have a good list of people they want to murder, and then secret traitor just comes in and ruins it by not putting the people you actually do want to murder on the short list? So definitely could throw a wrench in the traitor strategy. But we see them basically struggling who to choose. And the episode ends there. We see the cameras zoom out over the castle. You see secret traitor walk in her little red cape. And the episode ends there. Oh, wait. Pause. Sorry, I forgot something. While the traitors are in the turret, looking at the short list, they do notice the handwriting. And it does look, I would say, a little bit more feminine in terms of handwriting. And I think either Candace or Rob says, do you think that could be Jam Jam's handwriting? So they're definitely considering Jam Jam as a potential secret traitor. Obviously, though, we know the traitor's white, so it can't be Jam Jam. But we'll figure out that later, okay? But yeah, they're kind of looking at the handwriting, trying to use that as a clue. Also trying to use, like, who would choose these people to figure out who it could be. So yeah, they have a lot to figure out. They gotta figure out who the secret traitor is. They got stuff to do. So yeah. Overall, great first episode. Loved it. And so my camera's gonna die, so I will see you in the next video. Bye guys, I love you. Like, comment, subscribe.